What is poppin', y'all? It is your girl Tay Faye coming at you again with another magical video. So today, I just wanted to get into a little bit of a discussion about some pros and cons living here in Chiang Mai, Thailand. First of all, I am in a teacher training class right now to become a TEFLA teacher. So the best way for a lot of people to travel is through TEFLA certification and being able to take the certification, and then when you take the certification you are able to choose where you want to teach at, and usually depending on what program or company you went through, they set you up with a job, they help you find a job or whatever the case. A lot of programs are a little bit more different depending on where you go. Me, I chose International TEFLA Certification Academy, and it's a little bit expensive for the certification, but it's worth it. So far, it's been an amazing class. I've been learning a lot, and I have really been expanding, especially the way I articulate my words. So it's really been helping me be mindful since we're learning about grammar. Sorry, y'all live near the airport. You probably hear that loud ass plane. But it's really been helping me learn a lot when it comes to my grammar and the way I enunciate and the way I talk and just how I talk, and just being more mindful, especially because I want to be a teacher. So I want to be more mindful about how I speak. And for me, I was born in and raised in a what people would call the hood. So we have a lot of slang. I have a lot of slang just overall, I feel like people have slang depending on like where you're from, and you don't have to be from the hood to have slang, but I'm from the hood, so I'm a little ranchy. But I don't act like that. But one of the biggest things that has been very positive for me is just being able to immerse myself in a new culture. The pros have been the food is amazing. I love food. My new favorite food right now is khao soi. It is an amazing dish. One of my peers had put me on, shout out to Kanaki, shout out to her, she's amazing. And I've been eating khao soi like almost every freaking day now that I've actually experienced it. It's so good. It's like a curry soup kind of dish with noodles, and then whatever protein you want, if you want protein, and then some places have veggies that you can add to it. So it's so good. That's a very, of course, positive prong because I'm a foodie. I love to eat, so the food has been amazing. Another thing that's been amazing has been just overall the energy and the vibe here in Thailand. It's a very laid back, kind of more relaxed just city. So a lot of people here are just, honestly, they're just living their lives. It's just, people are always smiling. People are usually always happy. Like I said in the past video, I haven't heard anybody really arguing, anybody really, going back and forth between each other. Nothing like how I would experience in America, where I swear to you, somebody would be on their phone outside of my job, yelling, screaming, talking about their baby mama, talking about their baby daddy, and just a bunch of different stuff that was just kind of like, our brains are affected when we see certain things, regardless if we're paying them attention or not, right? So that's been another positive thing. I am surrounded by the mountains, and I love the mountains. As y'all know, some of y'all know me personally, I love to go hiking. I love to be outdoors. I love to be connected with nature. So that has been amazing for me. I can go up on my rooftop. I indulge in the cannabis tree. So I go up on my rooftop and I was running a little bit, and I just look at the freaking, I sometimes meditate in the morning and I just look at the mountains. It's amazing. It's an amazing view. What else I like? Of course, like I said, the people, they're amazing. I love Thai people. They are always sweet. They're always nice. They're always helpful. And this is literally, like, you will hear many people say this is the land of smiles. When I first got here, of course, I was getting like stares and everything, and I still get stares, but they're not negative stares. They're not staring at you like, ugh, why are you here? They're just staring at you like, who are you? Where are you from? I would like to talk to you. I probably don't know much English, or even if they do know much English, they probably still would. Like, hey, we can be friends. Like, I think that there's some rewiring that I have to do still with the inside of my mind, just being in the US when it comes to experiencing racism there. So I still kind of in my mind feel like I'm conditioned to think that, people don't necessarily I'm the black woman. So people don't necessarily, I'm not the first person that people smile at. I'm not the first person that people, whatever, gravitate to maybe. I don't know. But that's just, it's a conditioning thing. It's a conditioning on my part, and it's a conditioning on just society as a whole part. So that's one thing, of course, that I have noticed. And then another thing I would say that I really like is that it's just easy. It's a lot of things are very convenient. So if you have a 7-Eleven near you, if you have in really in any neighborhood, there's a lot of food places, a lot of places you can walk around and see. It's a lot of scenery. Chiang Mai is very rural, but not rural in the sense where they don't have anything. They have a lot of different things, and even with the ruralness, it's more historic than it is like just, you know, some people might call certain places like New York or Jersey like dirty or something like that, but it's not that. It's certain places that, you know, have more, maybe more trash, but it's not bad. It's still, for some reason, like, I guess because I'm in Chiang Mai, I'm like, that trash is so beautiful. Like you get a different type of admiration to things, and you start to appreciate things that you never thought that you would appreciate. So that's one thing that has been also very positive. Some cons. Let's go over a little bit of cons. And these aren't really cons with Thailand. These are really just things I'm noticing about myself. Some cons is that I do not like riding motorbikes. So like a great way to like get around here is motorbikes. Well, I won't say I don't like riding a motorbike. That's actually really fun. I just haven't had the experience to ride them by myself. So I'm a little bit more, you know, not too quick to jump onto a motorbike. I'd rather get in a car and just have a Grab driver drop me off somewhere. Grab here is like Uber in the US, or Lyft, or whatever the case. But I will say one thing about Grab is that even though it's really cheap, it's probably in comparison to the US, it's been around $4 or $5 for a ride somewhere, but I use it a lot because I use it to get around. So I would say if you do decide to come out here, if you're not afraid to drive the motorbikes, then that is definitely a cheaper option for you. Because me, I've been spending money when it comes to the motorbikes or the Grabs. So yeah, that's one thing. Another thing that kind of happened to me yesterday that I'm going to touch on, which is kind of like in its own little bubble kind of story thing, is that I realized something that has really been conditioning me is that I have the condition that I feel more comfortable when I'm in settings with black people. And lately, as I've been here, I realized I've been like, I feel so sometimes I feel so out of place. I feel like, you know, I don't have anybody that I really relate to in a way to where like, and now that I'm noticing and I'm really listening to myself, I'm like, no, these are things you are connected to traumatically. Okay. Traumatically, bro. You're trying to trauma bond is really what you're searching for. You're searching, your ego with that personality or that persona is searching for a way to still live. And my friend Josh mentioned this the other day. And because you're searching for a way because the ego is always searching for a way to live, no matter what type of identity that you grasp onto, because that is going to find a way to live through other people a lot of the times. So when you're around a certain group, yeah, you may feel more comfortable, but then you have to ask yourself, like, do you feel more comfortable? Or is it just because you get to reenact this persona that you've been so comfortable being for so long? And I had to ask myself that recently. And that's been the main question here. Who am I for real? Who am I for real? And who do I want to be? And what parts of me do I want to enhance? Because all this is just a persona. We're all just playing some type of role here, regardless of who you are and what you identify with. If you're the spiritual healer, if you're the teacher, if you're the wife, you're always identifying with some type of role that you're playing here as a human being, right? Because essentially we are not these roles, right? We just identify with them because that's just how the mind works, right? Because the manifestation of the mind is the ego. It's what it is. It's what it is, right? But then you also have the other side of things, which is the feminine aspect, which is the intuition. Now, I got into a discussion last night, which I find very interesting because I was talking, and like I said, these conversations, anytime I have a conversation with people, I like to dissect them to see where I could have seen a perspective, or did I miss a perspective, or was there something that, you know, I could have said differently, especially if I tried to spit science that like I know is internally inside of me, but then if the person is resistant to listening, then quickly it's going to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, when I know for a fact that I fucking do. All right, the discussion where, you know, a young lady, we were at this space there. Oh yeah, there's this space I love to go here. If you're ever in Chiang Mai, Thailand, check it out. It's called Pineapple Express. It is amazing weed bar, or yeah, they have like really cheap drinks there too and stuff like that, and they have but and y'all know they have it. Yeah, they do. Oh, you know, I was having a discussion with someone, and the girl, she said, she's just talking, everybody's just talking, we're in like this small group, everybody's just having a conversation. And one girl is saying, she's like, yeah, you know, I was talking to my guy friend, and, you know, I was expressing some emotions to him, but he just kept trying to give me advice. He wasn't listening to me, and he just kept trying to give me advice. And I was just sitting there like, I quickly feel like I'm an expert when it comes to not understanding men, or I think that everybody has their own individual mindset, so I can't generally say I understand men, because I think that individually we all have our own experiences, our own thing that create who us as who we are. So I chime in and I say, well, you know, a big part of why a lot of the times men will just give you advice because they're more logical, rational creatures. And the young lady beside me, she quickly interrupted. She's like, oh no, sweetie, no. That's not true. Men are not rational creatures. They're actually more emotional than women. And I'm looking like, well, I do strongly feel that I know that everybody has emotions. We all have emotions. We all are equipped with the masculine and the feminine. We all have that internally inside of us. That's what makes us. That's what creation is. We all have those energies within inside of us. But there is the manifestation of the penis, and there is the manifestation of the vagina, right? Women don't process this, or excuse me, men don't process their emotions the same way as women processes their emotions. Now, she made another point. She says men don't have the space or the container. The only reason why men are more rational are because men don't have the space or the container to be able to express their emotions. Women have healing circles. Women have this, women have that. Men don't have healing circles. Men don't have this. Men don't have that. And what that does is right there is that takes the accountability away from yourself. I didn't have a healing circle on my healing journey. I've never joined a woman's healing circle before. And I definitely didn't have a container or a space as a child growing up to be able to process my emotions. That took some internal individual soul work, correct? Right. So what my point was that men don't process their emotions the same way. They're not as connected to their emotions the same way, regardless if they had the space or if they didn't. Even men in certain healing circles, because healing circles for men are a thing, and it's starting to be more. Healing circles for women just became a thing. That hasn't always been a thing. And I'm talking about in the US, in America, growing up for me as a Black woman. I didn't know anything about women healing circles. I had never experienced any of that. I don't know, maybe some of you have, who are listening right now, did experience somebody being able to guide you through your emotions, help you process them. But I know for a fact, and just as we see in society, especially being raised in America, a lot of melanated beings are put in poverty, right? Poverty, like these poverty restricted areas. So we are all conditioned to have our emotions to be everywhere. None of us know how to process our emotions. None of us, men or women, truly, honestly, we all lack emotional intelligence. A lot of us do, right? But my point was, and what I was trying to get out was that men don't process their emotions the same way. Because why? They're not connected with their intuition like women are connected with their intuition. As a mother, your responsibility is to be able to help your children process their emotions, because you, as what, a woman, a nurturer, right? And yes, this isn't universal. Everybody could be a nurturer. Everybody can have those motherly like qualities. But guess what is connected to? Still the divine feminine. What does that say? The feminine energy, right? And I'm not saying it has anything to do, it does have a lot to do with the fact that we have a vagina, because that's how it manifested here as. We have wombs, we can carry babies, men don't experience that. And I'm speaking on biological penises. A penis, not a woman who transitioned into a man. Or we don't even process our thoughts the same way. A lot of the thoughts that we think, because women are not on the same, we move at a faster speed versus men. Because just imagine if you're a mother and you have 3 kids, you got to worry about the kids, you got to worry about what you're cooking on the stove, you got to worry about this, you got to worry about that. This is not to say that men cannot do these things and they don't have the capability, but it's just a little bit more challenging for them too, and they need a little bit more guidance. Versus a lot of times women can naturally do a lot of these things because we've been equipped with the mentality and the internal, it's been equipped in our DNAs. It's literally been equipped in our DNAs for this experience, to experience it as whatever gender you want to experience it as, but you're still experiencing it, right? You're still experiencing it. That's my point. You're still experiencing it. If you were born a man and you feel more connected to being a woman, guess what you're still experiencing? You're still experiencing being a man, but now you have to now you know, some people transition into being a woman. And I'm not going to speak too far now because I don't fully know, you know, about like what people feel when it comes to like transsexuality and all those good things. I don't know, and I don't want to speak on things I don't know. But what I do know is what I observe. And what I do know is what I can see in society, in day-to-day life and living. It's right there in our faces. We feel it, we see it. We're energetic beings. So that was my whole point. But one thing that, this is my overall point to this, one thing that I'm truly realizing is that because I want to be in these spaces with, you know, more melanated beings, black beings, but colorful, whatever you want to call it, okay? Whatever you deem yourself. I still see what I see in the US, where we're always speaking from these hurt places to where we feel like we have to depend or defend, where we have to defend something. We have to defend a thought because it's something that we stand our ground on, and it's something that and I'm in a place now to where I will listen to people. I will listen to your perspective. Sometimes I'm in situations where I don't talk at all. And a lot of times I don't share my perspective. I don't share with people a lot of the times what I feel and what I think, especially when it comes deeper into like spirituality and things of that nature. I've learned to just kind of quiet myself and let others teach me, or to see where others are within their mentality. I didn't do that last night, and that's where I kind of, you know, I screwed off with what I usually do. And what's even more funny is I wasn't listening to my intuition. Because I heard the voice say, stop talking. Before I even got into the discussion, they said, stop talking. There's somebody else who wants to shine. And I didn't listen. I said, no. I haven't had the opportunity to talk like this. I feel so excited. I'm around black people. No. Sometimes you really just got to be the listener. You just got to be the person that just watches and observes. And that's okay. But because our egos are always trying to be like, this is who I am. This is what I know. La, 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 la. Like, I want them to view me as funny, smart, blah, 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 blah. And you're still seeking that validation on a subconscious level. And that's exactly what I was doing last night. I could tell I was seeking that validation. I know for a fact I've did so much work on who I am as a being that I don't need validation from anybody else. I don't. I don't need validation from people on the outside of me. I don't need people to agree with me. I don't need people to see my point of view. But that's what I was doing last night. I'm like, I need them to see and say. And it wasn't even, I wasn't so defensive on it. It was just, I was a little bit like, because like, I was like, I thought we were just all like sharing how we thought. Like, I didn't know it was going to be, I don't debate with anybody because I know that we all have our own perspectives. And this is another point I wanted to make too. Just another perspective I wanted to make. Not even point, but because I feel like point is saying this is right. No. This is just my perspective. Okay? It's right for me. It don't got to be right for you. But this is another perspective too, is that, I strongly believe that we are all different individually. Some people are quick to be like, especially white people, are quick to be like, we're all the same. We're all the same. No, we're not. We're not all the same. We are just not. I don't care what anybody says. You can have your perspective on that if you want to say it. Some people say it around me all the time, and I don't even say anything because having our own experiences, right? And I'm not going to tell you your experience is wrong. I'm just going to tell you my perspective on it. So even during the conversation, I was trying to spit some science. Spirit was like, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. Or at least you don't. It's not that you don't know what you're talking about. It was just, you can't pull this information up right now with a flow state because one, you're in some heavy masculine energy at this moment in time. So you are rationally thinking, right? Which even more so showed how these energies play out. Men and women, we're different. We're different. Are we both humans? Do we both have emotions? Do we both have the logical side where we can rationalize and think? Hell yes. But are we residing in these energies a lot of the times? If we're not working on ourselves inwardly, a lot of time we're leaning a little bit more. And the whole point of understanding our emotions and releasing a lot of that energy is to bring balance, right? In harmonizing, bring the body back to homeostasis, because a lot of us stay in a very trigger mindset. I was so proud of myself. And I like to say when I'm proud of myself, and I like to give myself props when I show courage and I show true genuineness and true love, because that's my whole spiel. That's my whole thing. Like, I'm working so heavily on not letting others and how they feel be projected onto me, because especially when they feel so strongly about certain things. It is what it is. You feel your way, I feel my way, and we go about our day. But as I was discussing with my friend earlier, and he was just kind of reminding me, like, yeah, it's really just about listening and being able to agree even when you don't agree sometimes. Like being able to be like, okay, well, not agree, but just being able to say, I see your point of view. I see what you're saying. This is how I feel. Not necessarily dismissing them, or not necessarily, but people feel so strongly about something that they have to make other people see. What you got to realize is that you cannot make people see what you see. All you can do is be an example. All you can do is just say how you feel. And if somebody relates to that, or if you speaking to somebody subconscious and they're like, what do you mean? Say more. And it's really good too as well to be more intrigued. What do you mean by that? Oh, well, how do you feel like, just ask questions, right? But we're so quick to defend. We're so quick to jump on people because we feel like we got to debate. And some people like debating. I'm not saying that debating is negative. I'm just saying that a lot of the times we're not debating, really. We're just arguing. It's not, let me hear your perspective. It's just the person's not even listening to what you have to say. They're just literally waiting for you to finish so they can respond. Or sometimes not even waiting for you to finish. They just want to respond. So they're quickly to jump in because they feel like their perspective or their point of view is a little bit more important than what you have to say. Especially, like I said, if they don't agree with you. And I'm learning now that that's just not how I want to proceed. And also, like, I know now that, I have to scan the room. And that's something you have to do as a teacher. You got to scan the room. Scan the fucking room. Okay? Scan the room. And once you do that, you can I really just let my spirit guide me when I'm in certain places. I really do. I just let my spirit guide me. I just be like, who and what and how and what is going to pull me into what, and what do I need to experience out of this. Life is always going to be challenged. You're always going to have some type of challenges that test you, right? But you don't fucking go in your closet and, I mean, you can go in your closet and cry about them. It's okay to release the emotion, but you know, that's not, you try to process those things. And that's what I do here. This is why I make certain videos, because I'm like, well, let me get other people's perspective. I know a lot of the times on YouTube, people are just ready to argue. So, a lot of the times they just ready to shoot down what you gotta say. Like, bah! Like, what you mean? Jesus Christ. Like, just random shit. Like, you be like, okay. Whatever. I'm so at a point where I just really enjoy making videos that I'm honestly like, I'm going to resonate with. Whoever needs to resonate with what I'm saying is going to resonate with me. If you don't resonate with me and it doesn't open up your perspective or your mind, it's cool. It's cool. If you're more like, no, yep, she right, like, you know, whatever, like, you're wrong, and it's like, okay, cool, well, then that it's just the perspective or the what you see for yourself and what you see for your reality. And I can't do anything to really change that. I can only tell you what I feel, and then you can kind of go from there. So that was just like a little side story as to what, you know, I've been learning. And that story, I said that story because, like I said, I like to dissect things, and I like to see, like, well, how can I move differently when it comes to being in certain social, I'm literally like, I know how to be in social groups, and I also know how to be just by myself. I love being by myself, and I realize I enjoy that a lot of the times a lot more. Okay, I share myself because I like learning. Right? I love learning from other people. I love experiencing other people, and I love love. So I love being able to just be in people present energy. You know, how I could handle that situation later in life. Sometimes, like, when you really just want to be by yourself, that spirit telling you just be by yourself, or if spirit is telling you, hey, go over there and talk to this person. Last night, my spirit was like, go over and talk to the DJ before that situation even happened, and I should have listened to my spirit. But because I kept ignoring, spirit was like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna dissect it, process it, and move forward. But, and then spirit's like, good, this is what we want you to do. I don't know why my spirit has like an Italian kind of like whatever accent. I'm not trying to debate with anybody. Like, I like, honestly, like, sometimes debating a little bit more with men and women, because women will want to like just get really catty, and like, it's not about competition to me. Like, I would rather just like love you, sister power, like versus like whatever. I'm not competing against anybody here on earth. I don't. But like with men, I just see it as like a little playful challenge a lot of the time. So, and maybe I need to switch that to all genders. Like, see, like, and it really just starts inwardly. Inwardly, you know. And another thing is that I really enjoy about being in Chiang Mai. I know there's so many positives. You're like, what the fuck is the negatives? And it's just like, yeah, sometimes. But like, that's what I said. All my negatives are just on me. It don't have anything to do with Chiang Mai at all. Like, it's all on who I am as a person, and me realizing where I need to still, you know, release certain thought patterns, change certain, and rewire certain things inside myself. But I'm doing it, and I do it every day, and I know I do an amazing job at it. So always give yourself that confidence, always give yourself that space, that room, that uplifting feeling that, no, you got this, right? So those are my situations, little story time, and what I feel about Chiang Mai, Thailand. I love this place. I think it's beautiful. I believe that you're looking to travel internationally and you're looking to find like a new home, if you want to get out of the US, even if you're afraid of getting out of the US, take that risk, take that chance, because you never know what is waiting for you on the other side. You know, I seen a post the other day, a girl was saying, you never know what could be waiting for you in another city or another country. It could be a new car, it could be a new man or woman, it could be a new, you know, It could be new whatever. New experiences. It's gonna be new whatever. You're gonna meet new people. You're gonna meet new friends. You're gonna have an amazing time when you decide to really just take risks. And I think that's the biggest thing that we have to learn, is that taking risks are really important. But before my phone go dead, I'm just gonna end this. I love you guys. Sending love to you. If you got any perspectives that you want to say, please drop in the comments. I read all the comments, even the people that say some like really off the wall stuff to me. I just find it humorous. At first I used to read and be like, this is affecting me, but like now I'm like, people gonna say what they want to say. They don't know shit. I'm just playing. But yeah, I love y'all. Love y'all. Peace.